Hello, hello, hello. Testing one, two, three. I hope you guys can hear me okay out there in the TikTok land. As you come into the room, let me know where you're from. Let me know where you are on your VA journey. Pull up a chair, sit down, relax. Welcome to D Helps Vets. I am your host, D McCadney, and I am a 100% TDIU PNT SMCS housebound rated veteran, and I am here to make sure that as many of my fellow service members as possible get the true ratings that they deserve through the VA. So, as we get started tonight, uh, welcome into the room. Happy Veterans Day. Thank you for your service. Tonight, it's not really about talking about VA claims, compensation, more just kicking it with you guys because I'd like to be able to spend more time actually just discussing the things that come along with being a PNT rated veteran. There's so many misconceptions out there, so much misinformation out there. So happy Veterans Day if you are a veteran, and also if you are a veteran spouse, if you are a veteran family member or an advocate, a caregiver, thank you as well for your service. I know that you guys go overlooked and underappreciated. My family has to deal with a lot that comes along with me and my service related issues. And that environment in itself causes a lot more chaos than I actually would like them to have. So, thank you as well if you're coming into the room and you are a spouse, a family member, a child, a caregiver. If you are a worker, if you deal with the VA in any capacity, thank you for your service. Um, and as we get started tonight for Veterans Day, I apologize for being a bit late, but my family took me out for a late, early breakfast for Veterans Day. We did not get to go out yesterday. I am in Krabi, Thailand. My family and I were in Krabi, Thailand. So I'm in the future. I'm probably 12 hours in front of the majority of you guys. Darlene, hey guys, thank you for coming in. Good to see you. Hey guys, we're talking about all things military, veteran life tonight. We're not just talking about VA compensation. We're talking about everything that comes along with being a veteran, and that also includes family members and spouses. So, guys, let me know where you're from. Let me know where you are in your VA journey. And if you have a veteran in your life, if you are a veteran and you have a friend, you have a battle buddy that you need to make sure that they get the help that they need, that they deserve, please send them this because sometimes we're just lost in direction. We're just not sure where to go. So appreciate you guys for hanging out with me tonight. For you guys for the night, for me, it's daytime. It is 9 a.m. here where I am at. I was supposed to be in the gym today, but things got all turned around because the family took me to a nice surprise breakfast for a late belated Veterans Day, I guess you could say. But we are in Krabi, Thailand. And like I said, if you guys want to discuss it, let's get into it because I really want to tell you guys about all the benefits of moving overseas and being away from the state. So Brian, guys, as you come to the room, let me know where you guys are from, where you're at in your VA journey, and how are you as a veteran? How are you doing as a veteran? I'm sitting in the car because normally when I do these lives, I do them from my office room, second room, and the chair in there right now is just not up to par. It's not up to snuff. So that's something I'm going to have to update here in a little bit, upgrade here in a little bit. But right now, we'll sit in the car because the car's got a little bit more cushion for my back. Hopefully, I'll be able to hang out with you guys a little bit longer tonight. As a 100% TDIU, I have to go through my head and really search for these acronyms. 100% TDIU, PNT, SMCS housebound rated veteran. Um, I want to say thank you for your service because I know getting to this point has been a hard road. The VA does not make these things easy for you. I've met 3 or 4 unicorns in my life that have gone through the system and said it worked the first time. I don't know why people always have the problems that they have. This system is stressful in itself, let alone getting the benefits that you deserve. So, guys, as a veteran, I hope that you have spent an awesome Veterans Day getting all the benefits duly due for you, to you, and your family, because, Chili's and Applebee's and a couple other places. What's another one? Starbucks and Krispy Kreme. Hey, those guys hook you up when it comes to being a veteran. So this is a good day for us as well. So where are you guys at? Where are you from? Shadow, where are you guys out of? I am in Thailand. I am originally from Detroit, Michigan. What up, though? If you're from Detroit, what up, though? Good to meet you. Today we're just talking about being a veteran and all the things that come along with being a veteran. I got to be honest. I know my family deals with a lot. I spent today remembering that I have family that I must reach out to, that the isolation that I cause myself also affects my family members and the people around me. So then I took the time today to really focus in on making phone calls to family that I never reach out to, unfortunately. And like I said, I'm always honest and open with you guys. I do not gatekeep. I am an open book. As a 100% PNT veteran, one of our issues and symptoms on the social side is that we do not communicate. We don't talk to family. We don't talk to friends. We isolate. And that's how depression starts. When you lose your purpose after getting out of the military, whatever the reason may be, a lot of us lose our way. And unfortunately, it turns into depression when when you spend so much time with a purpose, 24 hours of your life, every day is dealing as a veteran, dealing with a purpose, right? And then once you get out, you no longer have that purpose, and it's hard to fill that hole and that void. And the VA recognizes this. So, guys, as you go along through your life, don't spend so much time being concerned about what other veterans you know out there. Jake from State, what's up, Jake from State? From the other veterans out there that think I'm not bad, I'm not that bad, I'm not as bad as them, I'm not this or I'm not that. A lot of times you really are, and you're just not recognizing it. You should really sit down and take the time to read over the mental health DBQ. There's two of them. There's a mental health DBQ for all general mental health, and then there's a DBQ for TBI and mental health that comes along with that as well. So, depending on what has caused your issue, we think of these things in threes. Always throw up the dynasty sign when you're talking to the VA. I really want you guys to understand there's a certain language that you must speak when you're talking to the VA. Kind of like Yoda in a way. Yeah, maybe you understand what they're saying, but it's usually backwards. It's usually coming out backwards. So you really must explain to the VA in their language. And we talk in threes. When did it start? When did your issues start? What are your problems and your issues in severity and frequency? And how do they affect you daily? So, if you really think about it, if it started in service because you had an in service event, may it be SA or maybe whatever it is, unfortunately, that's when it started. And then, so what happened? What are the issues and symptoms, the severity and frequency? Well, you have nightmares, you have insomnia, you have depression, you have hypervigilance. You can't go outside. TikTok Maine, what's up, guys? Understood you come to the room. Let me know where you guys are from. We're not just talking VA claims tonight, but we're talking about being a veteran in total and the things that come along with being a veteran and having been in service and still carrying, the weight of having been in service and the things that come along with it, your habits and such. So if you're someone like me who, when we talk about the 100% TDIU side of it, that's really where I had my biggest issue. Dimples, what's up, Dimples? Good to see you. That's really where I had my biggest issues, was at work. I just could not focus. I could not retain complex tasks. I couldn't remember how to do the work daily, even though I was doing the work daily. I had to come in and be refreshed like Drew Barrymore from 51st States. Every day was a brand new download for me. And it wasn't like I wasn't trying. I was just failing a lot. And then on top of it, it was making me very frustrated. So I would call off of work. I was stressed. It led to a lot of verbal issues, a lot of physical issues at work. So you have to think of these things as a tree, and especially when you're applying for secondary claims, how are they connected to your primary claims? If the depression is a result of the PTSD, if the insomnia is a result of the PTSD, or if the insomnia is or a result of sleep apnea. Don Rob, whatever it may be, guys, good to see you come into the room tonight. Let me know where you're from and where you're at in your VA journey. We're here to talk about these things so that you actually get the rating that you deserve, because a lot of us are very stoic and we don't know how to tell the truth when it comes to the things that are hurting us. Hope, hope, hope I'm looking all right now, guys. I think it's the light shining on me. I might be just a little bit glossy because I walked with the family. We did a little bit of walking this morning, so that's why I'm in the super tight shirt, looking like Lotto from 8 Mile. So we're not here to judge, please. So when you deal with the VA, you must learn how to talk to the VA properly. Derek Knight, you must learn how to talk to the VA properly and let them know, hey, these are the issues and symptoms that I have. This is when it started, and this is how it affects me daily. So, guys, I am in Krabi, Thailand. It is finally becoming a beautiful day here. We finally got to a point where, thank you for the follow, Matt. Thank you, guys. Thank you for the shares and the love as well, because I tell you, this is important information for veterans. We don't, John, Bet, we don't think it is, Matt. We don't think it is, but it truly is, because we get ourselves in trouble a lot of times. We listen to off-color language from someone's wife who said it only took their spouse 15 minutes to get it done, and we think we're going to have the same experience, and we don't. Guys, everyone has a fingerprint. Everyone in the world has a fingerprint, so fingerprints aren't unique themselves, but your fingerprint is, right? So understand that your claim, even though every claim that goes into the VA is a claim, your claim is distinctly different. And no matter what anyone else tells you, if you don't handle your claim properly, you are not going to get rated properly. So you must learn how to do these things early so that you can save yourself the trouble like I had. And if I can give you guys a little bit of background, like I said, my name is D. I'm with D Helps Vets. I am here to educate as many vets as possible about their VA benefits, because a lot of us just don't know. And as someone who, for the most part, if you think about it, I'm pretty high up the food chain when it comes to VA benefits. If anybody's qualified to tell you about it, it's me. I'm telling you right now, I take advantage of the benefits and opportunities that are afforded to me because I know I deserve them. Don't use anybody else around you to say, well, you haven't spent time in an asylum, or you haven't spent time trying to shoot the place up, bang, bang, that you don't deserve the benefits that you truly do deserve. There are rating levels for a reason. Not everyone is 100% P&T. Some of you are 30%. Go get your 30%. And that's all I advocate here. Am I accredited? No, Jordan, I am not. And I'll tell you exactly why I'm not accredited. Because I decided that I was going to go through the VSO program, and I spent about 6 weeks in it and found out it was not for me. I cannot be tamed when it comes to this. I'm going to say what I want to say when I want to say it, and I'm not going to be held back from it. I'm going to make sure that everyone that is trying to climb this mountain makes it to the top, and I will not be held back from that. And it's just that simple. So to go through that process would have meant that I'd had to, watch my tone sometimes when I talk about these things, and I'm just not going to do that. So that's my reasoning. I went through for a little bit and decided it was not for me. With that being said, I did my entire claim on my own. No one has helped me through this process but me. But what I found out is that when you do it yourself, it takes years. It takes some time, because you are going to run into problems that you are not ready to face. Little things that they throw at you, little small curveballs, and you're just like, what is this mess? And if you don't have the right proper guidance, is where you go wrong. So guys, hey, thank you for joining me tonight. So Cormier, what else are we asking about? Let's see. You're new here, Diamond. What's up, guys? Thanks for coming in. Please share this with as many veterans as possible. The Nexus letters are crucial. Yes, they absolutely are, Matt. We must go get our documentation. You have to think of these things like you're going to court. I know it doesn't feel like it because you're dealing with the medical. You're truly not dealing with medical. There's a medical side of this, and then there's a compensation side of this. There's a aside when you go take your exam, that yes, that is the doctor that you're going to go see, that is the medical side. But when you go in for your compensation claim, that is a completely different entity outside of the group, and you must treat them as such. You must be prepared to deal with them. So you must have documentation. You must treat it like you're going to court. If you want to prove your case, you got to have the documentation to do so. So thanks, Matt. Definitely need to know. You got to have your Nexus letters, the TDIU PT. Should I try to go 100% PT scheduler? I did my claim on my own. You absolutely should go on to get your PNT. If you're only TDIU, there's different levels of 100%, but the three main ones are scheduler, which means they can come back and review you after a couple of years. There's TDIU, which I started out as TDIU. And then there's permanent P&T, permanent in total. And P&T is where you want to be so that you do not have to worry about them coming back and re-examining you for any reason in the future. If you are that close to your P&T, fight for your P&T. You are just that close. The VA has already said that they believe what you have to say. You just have to give us a little bit more information. Go get that information. Don't stick yourself in a scheduler. Don't stick yourself into TDIU. Go get that P&T so you don't have to worry about these things in the future. And then if you're like me, I didn't stop after my P&T. I went from TDIU to P&T to SMC because they did not grant me my SMC out of the gate. I had to apply for my SMC. And then I went from that to housebound. So there are levels past 100%. And if you've got the documentation to prove so, the medical evidence to prove so, go get the rating that you deserve. Don't be scared of poking the bear because they expect you to be scared of poking the bear, which is why you won't get your benefits. So guys, like I said, we're not just here. Appreciate you guys coming in tonight. We're not just here to talk about VA benefits and such. I don't mind it, but we're also here to talk about your veteran benefits and the things that come along after you do get your 100% P&T. What are your plans after you get your rating that you deserve? No worries, brother. And if you got any more questions, please let me know. I'm here to answer everything we've got going on tonight because, like, as a veteran, I want to see all of us get to the mountaintop. We should all get the rating that we deserve. I will never say that we all deserve 100%. We do not. Not all of us have been through the same situations, which is why you're evaluated, which is why you have to prove your claim, because not all of us are 100% P&T. So whatever your rating is, go get it. It's just that simple. They're messing around again for the third time. What are they doing to you? What are they jerking you around on this time? Are they sending you from step 5 back to step 3? I hear our government's getting ready to finally come back after what is it, 50 something plus days of being out. That long holiday that they just took, so they can tell us that the biggest issue is Obamacare. Are you serious? That's what's holding us up. Not the economy, not inflation, not lowered wages. You're telling me that Obamacare is the biggest issue in the states? I'm not going to get too political tonight, guys. I promise. I want to rant a little bit, but I'm going to keep it honestly. I'm going to keep it simple. I'm not going to rant a lot. I'm just saying that I think there's a lot of smoke and mirrors that goes along with being in the States, which is exactly why I left. I love my country. I am a veteran for a reason. I served my country through my entire contract, but there's a reason why I had to leave, guys, because I just could not afford to live there. And if my biggest concern is a healthcare that I truly don't need, because I'm going to be honest, I take care of myself. I've learned that having been 275 pounds was not a good life. I learned at 275 pounds, living was not life. So I had to fix myself. If you think going to the doctor is the end of all ends, you're sadly mistaken. So being concerned about Obamacare should be the least of our problems. But being able to eat tomorrow, to being laid off of work, that's what... I'll get off my soapbox, guys. Guys, thank you for being veterans if you're a veteran out there. I had to get out of the States. And if you're concerned, if you're trying to get out of the States, please go get the benefits that you deserve, because the benefits that the VA gives to us more than affords for me and my family to stay in Thailand every month with a 2 bedroom, we're upgrading to a 3 bedroom. We just um, put down a long-term mortgage here, and it cost me all of $1,500 to get into the system, to get into here. And I'm not saying that this is going to work for everybody, but what I'm saying is that if you decide that you go get the benefits that you deserve, that your money will go much longer outside of the country than it does while you're in. And then so I also teach online as a side hustle. I can't, I'm going to be honest, I can't work full time. I just can't work for a corporation, a group, anyone full time. And then if you read your DBQs, you will understand why when it comes to 70% PTSD mental health. And if you feel the same way that I do, then you need to go prove your claim. And so then working for myself is the best thing that I can do, because when I feel like I need to stop, I can stop. It's just that simple. So there's many more options that you have outside of the States, but the best option that you have is to go get the rating that you deserve so that you can make that move, guys. So I tell you that a lot of it comes down to the stress that I was dealing with in the States, going to work. Thank you, guys. Thank you for the likes and love. Thank you kindly. Driving to work. You're talking about driving to work was road rage. And I lived in Arizona, so we could carry. It's open carry in Arizona. And I carried. And then so every day was road rage. Just going to work was a chore. Getting up to get to work was a chore. Getting into work was a chore. Doing work was a chore. Remembering to do work was a chore. Doing work right was a chore. Remembering how to get home without my GPS was a chore. Remembering how to get to the grocery store that's down the street and getting back home without the GPS is a chore. If I could show you guys my calendar, you'd think it was a I don't know, a leopard, I don't know, a chameleon, I don't know, something. I got so many colors in my calendar. So if you guys, Arizona, what's up Arizona? I was out in Scottsdale, not Scottsdale. What's the one next to the stadium? They built the stadium over there. It's not Scottsdale, I can't remember the name of it, but big area for University of Phoenix. So that's what I was working. I was working for Glendale. Thank you. Glendale. And I was working for Cox Communications out there. And that was probably the longest job that I had, was for 4 years. And the reason I was able to work as long as I did is because I never had to see my boss. I worked remotely. So I never had to talk to my boss. And even then, the majority of the work that I was turning in was C- at best, the majority of the time. And the reason they kept me for as long as they did was because I would work 16, 17, 18 hours straight trying to fix all my errors. They didn't have to pay me for overtime. So there was always a trade-off, guys. So you got to really understand what comes along with being probably where you deserve to be rated when it comes to the things that you deal with. But you deal with them simply because you live in the States. And then so if you're having the problems that you're having, you really should look into making sure that you get the rating that you deserve. So Arizona, what's up, Mike? Mike, what's up, man? You guys coming to the room? Thank you for being a veteran. Thank you for your service. We do not say it to each other enough. My name is D. I am with D, or I am D Helps Vets, and I am here to make sure that every veteran gets the true education that they deserve through our networking, through our association, and giving each other true information and not just making things up anecdotally simply because we don't know the technical side of these things. And I want to tell you that there's a lot of technical when it comes to the VA. This is like trying to fight a traffic ticket on your own. I don't want to make it as light as a traffic ticket, but it's like going to court. You've got to prove yourself. If you go in there talking about, Your Honor, I'm not taking a lawyer with me, I'm just going to do this on my own, they're going to look at you like you're stupid out of the gate. Can you prove it on your own? Yes, you can, because I did it myself. But it took me, well, I got out in 2004 and I didn't get rated properly until 2021. Guys, let me know, if you're in the VA, how long did it take you to get rated properly? Are you rated properly? I got denied my first wave. My first wave denied, not even zero, denied. Oh my God, I could go back and tell you about it. Mike B, what up though? Yeah, fought for VA for 25 years, took 2 cancers, brother. Thank you for your service, guys. When you know, on Veterans Day, we really got to look out for each other a little bit more often. We really got to talk to our Vietnam veterans out there. We got to reach out to the VFWs and make sure our brothers and sisters are okay, because we don't do it for each other enough. And I'm glad that you guys appreciate the things that I do, because a lot of our veterans out there are just like, why do you talk about it? If you talk about it, they're going to take your benefits. How does that make any sense? Can somebody really tell me? Somebody put down in the chat. Tell me how it makes any sense to say a system that's well known and spoken about amongst the community, the second you start talking about it on a social platform, means they're going to take it away from you. When in the history of any situation has it ever been, once the masses find out, they take it back from everybody and say nobody can have it? Social Security has been around forever. When have we not spoken about Social Security online? When can't you go online and find out anything about Social Security on Facebook, TikTok, WhatsApp, YouTube? Have they ever taken it away? We spend a lot more time scaring each other with bullshit boogeymen than we do actually taking care of each other. If you knew the truth, you would understand that those benefits are there for you. They come in every year with this budget, and they screw each other and they screw us over in a situation. But every year that they come back, they make sure that you're in the budget. Can you hear me? I know there's only 4 people out there right now. Barney, who else is out there? No, number one. Excuse me. Who else is out there? They put you in the budget at the beginning of the year. If they don't go find that money once you decide to put in your VA claim. Mike B, thank you for following me, guys. Thank you guys for following. Number one, 2004 to 2019, just got your PT this year. Woo! We give that Ric Flair woo around here when we see another PNT. Welcome to the Hundo Club, brother. Well, I mean, I know you said 19, so you're a vet, but you're a vet of the Hundo Club, but that is a hard mountain to climb. That is a hard mountain to climb. And if you're scared of that mountain, just say you're scared of that mountain. VA Mortgage Guy, what's up, guys? I'm just got to be honest. If you're scared to climb the mountain, just go to church. If you're scared to do these things, just say you are. But some of us know the deal. And some of us know that at the beginning of the year, if you don't go ask for your money, someone in there will. And they will put it under their butt in a nice cushion chair or a nice comfy desk or some trip to some seminar somewhere to talk shit about you because you didn't ask for your money. You didn't ask for your benefits. You thought someone else was worse off than you. I don't know how we come to these conclusions. I truly want us to understand that as veterans, we hold each other back more often than not, and that's what I'm here to stop. I want to be. My favorite movie of all time. You can ask my boy Marcus. My favorite trilogy of all the time. Well, it's a trilogy. It's a trilogy. I know it's 4 movies, but it's a trilogy. It's The Matrix, and the first Matrix is Morpheus, and I want to be your Morpheus. I want you to come along up this mountaintop. I want you to jump off the building and make it on the first time. I truly want every veteran that I meet to really focus in on getting every benefit that they deserve, because you are not taking it from someone else's mouth. It is sitting there waiting on you. You just have to go prove it. Fizzy Glitch, is it worth the push of pills within the VA right now? Absolutely. It is absolutely worth the push, because what we tend to forget, thank you guys for following and thank you guys for sharing and liking as well. It is absolutely worth the push. And something that we forget very, very often is that the second you log into VA.gov and apply for your benefits is when that pin goes into the system and it says, stop here, so that if this takes 5 minutes or 5 years, when you win your claim, there will be back pay. What could be better than back pay? What could be better than not only winning your claim, but having them pay you in the end because they owe you? Go get the benefits that you guys deserve. Do not sit on this like it's the stock market. And when should I jump into it? When should I jump in now? Now on Veterans Day. It might be closed. The VA.gov website might be down. Knowing the VA, there's no telling. But if you go to VA.gov right now and log into your account and open up the part that says apply for compensation and literally just say, stop here. You put a pin in the system to say, I will be back. I am going to go find all of my documentation. I am going to go get all my paperwork right, and I'll come back. Now, do you want to wait a year? No, don't wait a year. Go get your paperwork now. But put the pin in the wall to say that you will be back once you go get all your good information. Now, guys, what we're going to start doing here, I keep saying we like it's someone else. I know I was so humble that I didn't think that I deserved it. Boy, was I wrong. That's what we feel like every single time, right? Because you're taught to be stoic. Being stoic while you're in saves you from a lot of trouble, a lot of situations. It keeps you cool, calm, and collected, right? It helps you figure out how to adapt and overcome when you're stoic, because you sit and you contemplate and you think. And what you do is that when you get out of the military, that no longer serves you. You no longer need it. And then so you're sitting around being stoic the entire time where you're broken and depressed and no one knows. And then you end up where you are. And you sit thinking that, well, I didn't spend time in any grippy socks this year, so I must be okay, or I'm at least better than everybody else is. No, you're not. No, what's that mean? No, you're not. No, you're not. As a veteran, I know you're not. We've all been through something. We've all been through something. It's just, are you willing to talk about it? It really comes down to it, guys. Being honest. But even in speaking about it, right, we just got to be able to get to a point where we're able to tell ourselves the truth and to be self-aware. I'm self-aware of my issues. I know where my limitations are. I am 100% P&T for a reason, and I prove myself to be P&T for a reason. But people even ask me sometimes about what's my highest rating. My highest rating is 70% PTSD with MDD and marijuana dependency. And I live in Thailand so that I can smoke every day. And this is how I medicate. And the VA can decide that they can send you guys 100 bottles of pills, and you can decide to take those pills if you want to. But those pills always gave me the worst side effects. The trazodone, the gabapentin, all gave me the worst side effects. It's, for the most part, to be honest, a lot of reason why I got to the SMC that I have, because the ED that comes along with the pills that I was taking was keeping me from performing in any way, shape, or form, along with being diabetic. So there was a lot going on. When I say the neck bone is connected to the mental health bone, that we forget. We truly do just forget that, man, maybe this depression is connected to my sleep apnea. Maybe this anxiety is connected to my time in Iraq. Maybe I can't walk up and down the stairs or get out of the bed for the first 20 minutes of my life because I slept on cots and rocks in the desert for 18 months. Whatever it may be, or you fell off of some shit, or something bumped you in the head. Whatever it may be, but you don't think that you're bad because you're so used to being stoic. And that's what gets us in trouble. And that's what gets a lot of other veterans to telling other veterans, you don't deserve it. And that's BS, man. So I say what on Thursdays, what I would like to do is set it up so that we can have private sessions. We will be on the T days, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Let me make sure I got on my T days. Tuesdays will be our open session where we can talk and discuss, where we can go over your claims a little bit and, give a little bit of direction, and especially on the practical side so that we can dispel some of these myths. Christine and everyone else is coming into the room. Thank you for joining. If you're a veteran, thank you for your service. And if you are a veteran spouse or family member, thank you for your service as well. And then so we'll do these things on Tuesdays where we discuss and we talk. But on Thursdays at 9 will be for one-on-one sessions where we can directly discuss your claim in truth so that we can start to move forward to make sure that you get the rating that you deserve properly without having to go through the gauntlet that I went through from 2004 to 2021. Even in telling guys too, I went from 0 to 70. I got denied in the beginning, completely denied. I spent 7 years not going back. I went back in 2018, went from 0 to 70 right before COVID. And then it decided to reduce me. They decided to reduce me from 70% to 50%. And at the time, all I was rated for was mental health. So that would have been a 70% PTSD to a 50% PTSD. And I wasn't having it. Now, luckily, COVID stepped in at the time, so it gave me the opportunity to do my research and to learn the truth to figure out how to keep my rating. But these are the games that the VA plays. So I want all my veterans out there to know that, yeah, you can do this thing yourself. But until we really dispel some myths and really learn about our claims specifically, is when we stop having to um, fail every time and self-advocate for ourselves and really get it right the first time around. So, guys, I hope if you're listening, please share this with as many other veterans as possible, because a lot of us need to hear it. A lot of us are just stuck in that stoic phase, and we don't know how to ask for help. We really don't. Yeah. And then so Daddy Blue, Daddy Bubble, I'm just waiting to review my PTSD CMP exam. Good luck on that. And hey, if you find yourself stuck, you find out that you got denied, please sign up for the class on Thursdays. We will start scheduling them through Zoom, via Zoom, so that we can sit and really focus in on your claim without having this back and forth with all the scrolling and me having to kind of rush through answers as such. I want to make sure that you guys truly do get the help that you deserve, and we will be starting to hear very soon. So look out for that on the Thursdays. And guys, thank you for following. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for liking. We truly do need to share these things with each other. So let me know where you guys are from. Are you veterans? What is going on your veteran? Are you finished? Are you done with your veteran night? Are you are there any Krispy Kreme donuts still open that you can go hit up? Some some Chick-fil-A that's going to give you a discount that you go hit up. You guys, what did you get into for your Veterans Day? I'm Met Border for PTSD. How many days do you have left? Are you still within your early 120 or late 120? If you're being Met Border for PTSD, you want to absolutely make sure that everything that you say is documented before you head on out. And you also want to make sure that you do not downplay your symptoms. Please, please, please do not tell them that everything is okay when it's not. Tell them the truth. May it be something that you've done in the past, getting arrested, having thoughts of S, attempting S, whatever it may be. Please go talk to them about it. I promise you, you'd be much better off in the long run having brought it up in the first place. And then, so any advice for the CMP exam? Yes, absolutely. I urge you to bring my files that are already submitted. You should bring your files. You should absolutely bring everything that you want to talk about, because most of us veterans will get in there thinking that we're going to remember everything, and they're going to start asking you questions, and you're going to forget. You're going to forget. I promise you, you're going to forget. You're going to go in there talking about, I'm going to remember this, and you're going to forget, right? So take the files with you so you don't have to forget. You can just read off the note and say, Doc, this is what I wanted to tell you because I have a horrible memory. And then also, when you go talk to the CMP examiner, always keep these things in threes. Always talk about these things in threes with the VA. When did it start? When did your issue start? It must have been an in-service event or something that happened before service that service made worse. If you had flat feet before you went in, they let you in with flat feet. They shouldn't have, but your flat feet got worse while you were in. That's something that happened before you went in, but got worse while you were in. If you had a PTSD situation like me, 9/11 happened after, that's in service. Then also, what are your symptoms and issues? What are your symptoms and issues in severity and frequency? It is throbbing, it's aching, it's lightning, it's shooting, it's pain, it's numb. It is what it is. Tell them how often it happens and how bad it is. If it is constant, if it never goes away, say that. And then in the third, how does it affect you daily? Does it keep you from climbing stairs? Does it keep you from going to work? Does it keep you from talking to friends and family members? Does it keep you from going to the gym? Does it keep you from being able to hold a job? Does it keep you from going to a restaurant in the evening because you know people are going to be there and you know you're not going to get a chair that you're going to be able to put your back to? Whatever it may be, you got to go read that DBQ for your issue, and it will determine what your rating is. May it be PTSD, may it be sleep apnea, may it be migraines, does not matter. So, Andy, guys, let me know where you're from. Freedom will put you at 31 years. What's up, brothers? Good to see you. Thank you for your service. Thank you for everyone that is here watching. If you are a veteran spouse, a family member, an advocate, a caregiver, thank you for your service as well, because you guys go overlooked every day. I know what my family deals with. I know what I put them through. I got to be honest. It's one of those things where, as a 100% PNT veteran, I'm rated for a reason. And if you are not rated properly, you need to go get rated properly. It's just that simple. What happens? Can you get reassigned to a desk job? What does that mean? Something wrong. I think I may have seen you before. What's up, guys? As you come into the room, what's that about? What happens? Can you get reassigned to a desk job? Not sure about that. What's the question about? And then thank you also for freedom. Thank you for your service as well, brothers and sisters. Thank you for liking the live. We got to be able to take care of each other, because if we don't, no one else will. But it's got to start with self-advocacy. It's got to start with you actually telling the truth. It's got to start with you actually sitting back and saying, this is broken, whatever it is. If it's physical or if it's mental or a combination of both, you got to really be able to say to yourself, this is a problem. And if I don't get the help that I deserve, what is it going to lead to? More problems in the future. Now you really can't work. Now you want to go talk to the VA and ask for help when you should have been doing it 5 years ago. VA is going to tell you to kick rocks. The first thing the VA is going to tell you is that it's not service connected, right? Because you didn't complain while you were in service. So take that mentality over to your life now. You didn't complain while you were in service, and now you're not complaining as well. The VA is not going to connect it from you not complaining in service. Take a wild guess to see if they're going to connect it if you're not complaining now. Somebody out there tell me if these things equate. Somebody tell me if 2 + 2 = cat. If you didn't complain in service, and the number one reason they deny you is because you didn't complain in service, if you go into the VA now and you haven't been complaining at all, tell me how you think they're going to connect you now. Someone tell me. Please put it down in the chat. Please let me know how these things make any sense to you. If you don't go self-advocate, you're not going to get the rating that you deserve. These things are simple concepts, and you must let go of that stoicism. You got to let go of that feeling of, if I go complain, then it's going to hurt the team. What team? Who's keeping you from going and look for some assistance? Who's keeping you from actually saying, I need to help my family because I'm a handful, and I know I am. If you have PTSD, can't you field work? Can't you be a reasonable non-operation service duty? Yes, you can. You can work at 100% PTSD. You can work at 100% PTSD. There are multiple ways to be 100%, but the three majors are 100% scheduler, 100% TDIU, and 100% PNT, permanent and total. You can work at scheduler 100%. You can work at PNT. You can't work at TDIU up into a certain point. You can work up to the poverty line, and then you must quit. There's exceptions to every rule, guys. So, yes, at 100%, you can work. My issue is that I don't play well with others. I'm going to be honest. It is a combination of a lot of things. I get into a job. Every job has a system. Every job has an SOP. Every job has a way that you're supposed to perform and the tasks that you're supposed to complete at certain times. You've got deadlines. You're scheduled for things, right? I could never keep those schedules and those deadlines. No matter how much I tried, no matter what I did, I would always have problems with the work that I was doing because I could never remember the complex tasks. It was like 51st dates with me every day. I reset every day that I came into work, and I had to relearn how to do the job over and over again. It would take me months before I really got down to a point. And by the end of the job, it's like, screw this jazz, you gotta go, man. So on top of me being forgetful, not being on time, not completing tasks properly, I'm also in there upset and angry at people. I already had a road rage incident coming into work. Now I'm taking all of my anger and hostility on clients, on customers, on coworkers. These things were affecting me daily. And I'm going to be honest, if a lot of you guys are having those same issues out there, you really need to look into going the TDIU route. You really need to look into going the TDIU route. Because I promise you, I've tried to go back to work multiple times. Multiple times I've tried to go back to work. I can't do a 40-hour. And as I get older, it doesn't get any easier. It does not get any easier physically or mentally. No, not TBI, TDIU, which is total disability due to individual unemployability, or IU. They call it IU as well, individual unemployability. And it is completely based around the idea of the three pillars of the DBQ, which is occupational, social, and hygiene. How well you maintain and take care of yourself. Do you forget things? How well you do in social? Do you make friends? Do you keep friends? Do you talk to family members? And then in the occupational, can you keep a job without getting fired? Do you play well with others? Do you remember the complex tasks that you're supposed to do on a daily basis? Do you get to work on time? Do you not call out because of your migraines? These are all the different things that you must take into account that a lot of veterans overlook simply because they deal with them on a daily basis. We're so used to sucking things up, we forget that we're no longer in the military. So happy Veterans Day to everyone out there that keeps forgetting that they're no longer in the military. You really should go get the rating that you deserve. And I want to make sure every veteran out there knows this. I want to make sure every veteran out there gets what they deserve, guys. So I hope that if you hear my voice, please share this with as many veterans as possible, because I want to make sure that we're all taken care of. I know we all deserve something. So I hope that your Veterans Day was blessed, because I usually have two kind of back to back. I get to celebrate this morning and yesterday. Something Wong, how does this compare to police, fire department, public safety jobs? If you are a veteran working in any type of public service job, you're probably working in a protected environment anyway, simply because the majority of people that you're working with are probably veterans themselves, right? The majority of them are probably veterans, or at least they're used to dealing with veterans, or they consider themselves veterans once they retire, because they are, they're a military in themselves as well, right? So if you're working in those positions, the VA doesn't see it, they don't take it well. I'm going to be honest. You're still doing the job that you were doing before. How are you still doing the job that you were doing before, but you can't do the job that you were doing before? You really need to inform them. You really need to show them that it's wearing on you. And because you could never really learn another job, you had to keep doing this job. What other job were you going to do if you didn't continue to be a fireman or a police officer? What other job would that have translated to that you could have learned once you got out? So look at it from that standpoint and say, well, in 20 years, I'm not going to be able to learn AI. That's not going to be something all of a sudden I'm going to learn. So you need to be able to go in the VA and say, hey, listen, this happened while I was in service. I'm still working this job in a protected environment simply because I don't know anything else. But I promise you, these are my issues and symptoms, and this is how it affects me today. Get these things in documentation now so that you don't have to fight this uphill battle in the future. So if you're working in a public sector, and I've been in public sectors because I couldn't find any other jobs, you got to be able to articulate that, guys. So is military same baseline of process as public service? I mean, it basically is when it comes to what you think it is. In terms of the military, is just a government-owned, federal-owned military, but firemen and police officers are just a government-owned local entity. It's the exact same thing, just on a larger scale. So there's really no difference. I'm working as a correctional officer. My job conflicts with my PTS. Yes, it does. It does conflict, and that's the problem, because you're in pain constantly, but you fight through it simply because that's all you know. You've been doing this job for as long as you have. So what other options do you have? But if you're someone like me who is constantly jumping from job to job, you didn't get the benefit, and that's why I took the route that I did for TDIU. But if you're in a protected environment, you still got to go tell these guys about it. You still got to go tell the VA, hey, listen, I worked this job, and I've been working it for so many odd years, and this shit is not getting better. This is not getting better. You got to go complain. You got to go talk to the VA. I hate using the word complain because it sounds horrible, but you got to go talk to the VA guys, and you got to go tell them the truth. You got to go tell them what's going on with you. Shoot at 90% as a correction officer and working and trying to get to 100% P&T. At 90% it's a gift and a curse. 90% is just as bad as 0%. It really is. You think you're there, but you're just as far away as you would be at 0%. It truly is the worst of the worst. I got to be honest. So if you're at 90%, you got to think about it like being a rubber band that's been pulled as taut as possible. Can you get it that last 10%? But it's not 10%. It's probably somewhere close to 30% or 40% or 50%. So a 90% is a gift and a curse because you're right there. But boy, oh boy, if that last leap is probably the longest leap you're going to have to take. Please reach out to me so that we can talk about it. At 90%, I hate to see it, but the VA is basically saying that you're there. You just need to prove, more than likely through a secondary claim, that you deserve to be 100%. So reach out to me, please, in DM. I would love to be able to help you through the rest of your claim. And like I said, guys, we're going to start doing this in private on Thursdays at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard. Please reach out to me if you plan on signing up. We will start the class up in the Zoom meetings and be able to talk directly through your claim. So we can talk about your denial letters. We can talk about what comes next in your strategy and what you should do so that you can do this thing properly, with some true guidance outside of me just kind of chatting back and forth and telling you guys what I think. So please reach out to me, Melvin. Thank you guys for following. Like I said, if you're ready to come really get some true knowledge and some information, we will start this class up here very soon. And then, so I was at 90 until last year. Hope you get it, brother. Yeah, absolutely. Number one, like I said, man, I want to see every brother and sister get the rating that they truly deserve, man. I will never gatekeep on any of us because I know what I've been through, and I can only guess what a lot of us have been through. So is it difficult to add parents as dependents? Nope, it is not. It is actually probably as simple as logging into va.gov, filling out the application for dependents, adding dependents, making sure that you have their social security number, and filling out the application, and that's it. And it usually takes about 3 months before you can add on dependents. And I have my father on as a dependent because my father is in a home, and I send that money home to him because his SSI does not cover his medical bills. So the VA does pay me somewhere close to about like $150 or so a month, but I send my father somewhere close to $300 or so every month for his bill. So, it is what it is. But yes, it is very easy to add dependents on at 100%. You just got to log in, va.gov, and do it. And if you're not sure how to do it, please reach out to me. I'll walk you through it step by step. We'll schedule an appointment, and I'll walk you through actually adding your dependents. I have my father on, and my 2 toddlers, and my wife. So what is that? 4? Yeah, 4 dependents on. Let's see. Yeah, absolutely. Hope that this information helps you guys. Let's see. I might have to get a second spinal surgery. My back got worse after a fall at work. Yeah, spine surgery, anything spine surgery, back surgery is always the worst. I've been told that you don't come back from it. Same thing with the neck surgery. For a while, they were telling me that I may need neck surgery and back surgery from the VA if I kept going the route that I was going for working. And I had to quit. I couldn't work anymore. Just couldn't do it. But there was no way that I was going to get surgery on my back if I didn't have to, simply because I've heard the worst stories for that. So good luck, brother. Hopefully it works out for you. Putting in a second claim already started. My symptoms that were on the work. Yeah. So what are your symptoms and issues? Once again, guys, we do this thing like the Dynasty. If you're like me, you're a big Jay-Z fan, you throw up the Dynasty sign. When did it start? When did your issue start? What are your issues and symptoms, the severity and frequency, and how does it affect you daily, right? So if you're putting in a secondary claim and you're saying, well, my PTSD is causing my depression. My PTSD is causing my insomnia, my nightmares. My GERD is causing heartburn. Whatever it may be, whatever is, the flat feet or the migraines or whatever it is causing this. That's your secondary claim. That's what we mean when we say secondary claims. We're saying that something else is a primary claim, and it is causing another problem. If you have a left knee issue that was caused by service, and you walk with a limp, you walk with a cane, you walk with a brace, and it causes you to lean to the other side, and you find yourself having issues with your right knee now because you overcompensate for your left knee, that is bilateral knee issues. You must go back and say, this is a secondary issue. My left knee is causing my right knee problems. How do you prove that? You go back to the doctor. You say, doctor, I walk funny, and my left knee is causing my right knee to be a problem. And the doctor says, oh, yeah, I can see exactly where your knee is being a problem. And you take that letter to the VA. You say, you guys already connected me for my left knee. My right knee is secondary to my left knee. Here's the documentation to prove so. This is my wife saying she watches me limp. She watches me not be able to get out of work. He watches me not be able to go to work, whatever it is. Give me my right knee. This is how you get secondary claims. This is how you make it to the next level in your claims. This is what we mean when we say you must go back with proper documentation to prove your claim. Because if you go back in there thinking, well, my left knee hurts, so they should be able to say that my right knee hurts, they're going to find every reason to tell you that your right knee doesn't hurt. Goofy, because you didn't prove your claim. Stop assuming that these guys are on your side. They are not. They are agents in the matrix. They are there to make sure you maintain. They are not there to help you. It's just that simple. So what kind of health insurance do you have overseas? I've got VA health insurance. My family is through Champ VA. And then when my family has any issues over here, and we have issues, we go right into the doctor's office. I don't even worry about FMP anymore because it's hard to get, and it's so long to wait for. The VA can kiss my butt when it comes to that. I take my children into the doctor for their issues and symptoms. We went in the other day. We walked into the door. We walked out of the door with all of my daughter's medications. It cost us $125 total for the doctor, for the medication, for the walk-in. You can't even walk into an emergency in the States without paying $125. So a lot of your medications you wish was only $125. I don't worry so much about medical over here simply because those things are more than affordable when it comes to doing so. The States has the highest Medicare costs outside of a developed country in the world. And that's on purpose. That's by design. Capitalism is designed to end in a monopoly. I don't know if you guys have ever taken macroeconomics in school, but every capitalist society is bound to end in a monopoly. It is a eat or be eaten situation. And that eventually means someone makes it to the top, which is why you get your Time Warners, which is why you get your Facebooks, your Amazons. Someone will always rise to the top, which causes inflation, which causes high cost. You guys got to really think about these things. So when you're not in a situation that you don't have to worry about that stuff, it doesn't cost that. And it doesn't cost that over here. So when my family gets sick, we get our butts up and we go into the doctor. And the doctor sees us for $125 and we get everything we need. And I don't even talk to the VA about it. I don't concern them at all. So I hope that helps a little bit. Not everything over here is cheap. Some stuff over here is expensive as well. But it's just cheaper than it is in the States. It's just 3 times cheaper than it would be in the States. So SMC housebound, in fact, hard. Yeah, housebound is definitely hard to prove because you got to prove why you're housebound. Why are you housebound? I proved my claim for being housebound. I've just given you guys a lot of reasons why I was housebound. Me leaving the house was a I'm gonna be honest, a Yosemite Sam, most rootless, tootless. I was bound to get into a gunfight every time I left the house, going to work. It was just I was going to get into a road rage incident before I got to work, and then I would get to work and take that out on employers, clients, customers, employees, co-workers. And it was just a daily event. So it was easier for me to isolate. It was easier for me to stay away from family. Why do I need to explain my issues all the time to family members? Civilians don't understand this. Civilians don't understand us. I'm not going to spend my day trying to explain to you why I feel the way that I feel. You probably think that I'm faking it anyway. So you got to prove your housebound status. How do you prove it? I got a lot of proof. What kind of health insurance? Oh yeah. We just talked about that one. So was in and out, can barely walk. Yeah, brother. Good luck to you. Especially when it comes to the doctors, man, because doctors are human as well. They're learning as they go along. They're not gods. So good luck and blessings to your doctors and to you as well. I will pray for your health. And thank you for your service as well. Been debating on doing SSDI. Can't work anymore. SSDI is even worse than the VA. SSDI is even worse than the VA because that burden of proof. If the burden of proof for the VA is like dealing with, they maybe say manslaughter charges. If you were to beat manslaughter charges, you say, "Whoa, man, that was one." But for you to go up against murder one, or maybe a RICO case, that's the level of intensity that you got to go with when it comes to SSDI. Is that you're getting ready to go in and fight a murder one or a RICO case. And I'm being honest, the level of medical that you have to take in, the amount of proving that you must do for SSDI, make sure you have all your ducks in a row when it comes to SSDI. It's not just about saying that you can't work. It's proving without an absolute shadow of a doubt you can't even do the most sedentary, non-physical. Pencils come down the line on the conveyor belt, and all you got to do is slash it with just a little marker. That's how much you have to prove you can't do that job. You can't even be a greeter at Walmart, and anybody can stand in the doorway and say, "Welcome to Walmart." So you got to be able to prove these things on the SSDI side. Am I getting ready to get kicked off of TikTok? What's going on, TikTok? Why do you always do this? I sit here and talk you guys' life away, and then TikTok says, "Are you sure you're still alive? You got 5 minutes to prove yourself." I live in Krabi, Thailand. I moved out of that Matrix state, that Matrix country in 2020. The second they opened up the flights after COVID and let us fly, I was on the first thing smoking. So what was that, like May of 2022? I think it was. I haven't been back to the States since. I plan on going back next year, maybe 2027, but not anytime soon. There's just really no reason for me to be back there. So, good luck to you guys that are going on. They're dealing with that shutdown and just finishing that out. And then, so let's see, you're right. It's a dog eat dog. Yeah. We really got to be able to take care of ourselves or take care of each other because we are very crabs in the barrel, like when it comes to giving misinformation, false information, telling people they don't deserve something or telling people that they're faking it. When a lot of us have a lot of proof as to why we're not faking it. And then a lot of you just don't know how to prove your proof. You don't know how to put that together to show this is actual proof. And this shows that I'm having these issues and symptoms because you're used to masking them. You're used to hiding them from people. Or the issues and symptoms that you do show, you don't show well. You water them down. So yeah, you may not be able to get out of the bed in the morning, but then you spend an hour and a half at the gym trying to prove that you can do the things that you used to do, but then you spend the next 3 days paying for it. And so we really got to stop being so stoic. We really got to be able to say, yeah, the nuts and bolts need some oil. The squeaky wheel gets the oil, guys. And if you want the VA to compensate you properly, you got to be able to go ask for oil properly. So Dr. Kev, what's up, guys? As you come into the room, let me know where you're from. Where are you at in your VA journey? Thank you for your service as a veteran. If you are a VA or if you are a spouse or an advocate, a family member, a caregiver, thank you for your service as well. You guys go overlooked and underappreciated, and it's unfortunate because, like I said, I know what my wife deals with and my family deals with me a lot of times as well, especially when it comes to my dependency issues. Like I said, I'll never get key from you guys. And then so if you go talk to the VA about your dependency issues, if you are self-medicating in any way, shape, or form, you got to be able to go tell these guys this, right? You got to be able to go tell them, hey, I smoke, or I pop pills, or I like to drink Coke, and I like to do other things with different types of Coke, whatever it may be. Just being honest, you got to go tell these guys because you're definitely not going to get the ratings you deserve if you hold these things back. And even if it's not just about the rating, but it's about actually going to get some help, because the benefits that come along with it, they will help you with. They will give you things like pillows to sleep on if your back is messed up. They will get you new beds. They will get you systems. There are grants out there. There are so many things out there for us benefit-wise that we don't know about that just sit because none of us go ask for them. None of us, we're scared to go ask to say, hey, listen, I know that you got that over there sitting in the corner. and I know it's for me. Can I have it? And then when you get told no, well, I'm sorry, boss, for even asking in the first place. Sorry I even came to you and asked you for some extra porridge, boss. I hope you don't be mad at me because I came to ask for something that was already mine. I know I'm exaggerating, but I want you guys to truly understand at the beginning of the year, we go through this system where they decide on our fiscal budget. Now we've been out of pocket for close to 50 something plus days, but they're going to get it right here eventually. And then they decide what your budget is going to be. And every year you don't go ask, it's every year they find another reason not to give it to you. Every year, well, you didn't come ask for it last year, so you must not need it. Well, you didn't come ask for it 5 years ago, so what have you been doing for the last 5 years? Don't give them the opportunity. Don't give them the opportunity. Go get the benefits that you deserve, guys. Um, Go get all the benefits that you deserve. Please, please. Wife was an advocate and the one telling me, yeah, our wives are usually the ones that get our asses in motion anyway. And it's hard for us to understand that sometimes because we forget that purpose. Sometimes we need a little bit of a push. Sometimes our purpose is connected, is right, is sleeping next to us half the time. She's got to push you along. You might need that motivation, but if you need some true guidance and some assistance, please reach out to me, brothers and sisters. I want to make sure that you get all the ratings, that you get all the benefits that you deserve in every way, shape, or form. Good, and thank you for your service. Yeah, same to you, lady, Lady Orla. My husband has his last 2 CMP exams. Oh, that's what's up. What are the CMP exams for? I'm sure more than likely PTSD, something mental, something physical. What are the last 2 CMP exams for? After the exams, we have to go to the doctor for my biology shot. It could raise them to 100% if they hopefully get a service connected. Yeah. And then so if it's the problem of being denied due to service connection, what are they telling you is the problem? Why are they saying that it's not service connected? Because your husband didn't complain while he was in service, because he can't prove that he was in Vietnam, or he can't prove that he was at Camp Lejeune at the time of the issues and symptoms, or he develops his issues and symptoms. Why was he denied to begin with due to service connection? And see, so these are the things that we really want to discuss. It's a little bit more deeper than just the shallow part of it of getting denied in the first place. Why? The next question must be, why were you denied? And of course, the biggest reason, as always, is not service connected. You didn't go while you were in service, or you didn't complain enough while you were in service. Whatever it may be, it's usually not service connected simply because they say it's not. So he's going in for asthma. He was at Cap Lejeune. Yep, there we go. It started there in tinnitus, hearing loss. Yeah, there we go. It's supposed to be presumptive. Camp Lejeune fell under the new CARE Act. I'm sorry, not the CARE Act. Why can't I say the bill now? Somebody help me out there with the bill that was passed for the presumptive. What was it? The CARE Act? Was it the PACT? Thank you so much. The PACT Act. I know it was a 4. It's always some type of 4-letter acronym. But then, if it's supposed to be presumptive, what part of it is presumptive? That your husband was at the camp? That's not it. The presumptiveness of it is, did you develop something from the time that you were at camp? What did you develop from your time at camp? Did you develop cancer, GERD, tinnitus? What did you develop from there? And then you must prove that development. So yes, it is presumptive once you prove the presumptiveness. And that, once again, people, is the VA in a nutshell. You're telling me I got to go prove something that you're telling me that's already been proven. Welcome to the world of the VA. I don't get it. I don't get them. That doesn't cover asthma unless it's a burn. And see what I'm saying? So even at Camp Lejeune, they've got rules and regulations under which you can prove your presumptiveness. I myself was stationed. Well, I wasn't stationed. I got out and I was there as a contractor in Iraq for 7 years, between Iraq, Afghanistan, and Kuwait. And in my service letter, my denial service letter, they tell me, yeah, we can see that you were around a bunch of burn pits. We conclude that you actually went down and worked in burn pit twice. But do you have lung cancer? do you have cancer? So yes, the presumptiveness is there of being in that location. Now I got to prove that I got cancer. That's BS. What happens when I get cancer in 20 years and it's sat and developed for 20 years? Well, it's not presumptive. It's not proven presumptive. And that's that BS. So this is the stuff that we go through with the VA, which is exactly why I want us to understand the totality, the nature of the VA. It's not just, oh yeah, the VA is here to take care of us, because they're not. They're here to help us maintain. It is unfortunate that that's the way it works. But if you want to prove your claim, you must see it as such. You must see it as such. How do you prove your claim? It really is just that simple. But two people, one of the cases, I'm following their footsteps. So you should, because if you see something that's working, you should absolutely take advantage of that route. Especially before the VA closes loopholes and makes things so much more difficult. At the end of the day, I went in for my tinnitus last year. I am rated 50% migraines, prostrating migraines, and I went back for my tinnitus because I didn't do it properly the first time. I went in for my migraines not knowing that I should have claimed tinnitus as the primary, my migraines as the secondary, because, excuse me, I should have claimed migraine. I claimed my migraines as a primary, but I did not claim my tinnitus as a secondary because I did not realize that they were connected. There we go. So I only applied in the beginning for my migraines, and I've got my 50% migraines. But then I went back last year to apply for the tinnitus, and I got denied for the tinnitus. Take a wild guess as to why I was denied for the tinnitus. Not that the VA is not saying that they don't believe that I have tinnitus, but simply because they say that I didn't show up for an appointment for tinnitus. That's it. So they're conceding that the tinnitus is there, but the reason that they're denying me is because I didn't show up for an appointment. Now, the first part of that is absolute BS, because I did show up for my appointment. But what they did is that they scheduled me on a day that I absolutely could not make it. There was a flood in the Philippines, and there was no way for me to be able to take transportation to the location I needed to get to. So I had to reschedule. Well, what they said is because I rescheduled and I didn't go to the first appointment, that I didn't go to any appointment. This is the games that the VA plays. So I want you guys to understand that, yeah, you can do these things yourself, but when you run into these problems, the one-offs, the ones that you just don't know how to rebut to, please reach out to me, because I definitely want us all to get the rating that we deserve. And if that means that the VA, the reason you don't have it yet is because the VA is playing games. And I want to make sure that you guys actually get your rating properly. So he wanted me to go slow. To start, we have asthma tonight as a hearing loss. Yeah, you can definitely do that. I mean, there's nothing wrong with going slow. I know a lot of veterans that throw like 5 or 6, 10 different claims at the wall at one time and hope that they all stick, that you go in for all those C&P exams, waiting on all those C&P exams to be taken care of, and then you go from step 5 to step 3 to step 4 to step 3 to step 5 to step 3 because you got so many claims in. Yeah, so it's better that you do them slowly and individually and actually do them right. I don't care if it's slow, as I will take him to and drive to sleep. Yeah, absolutely, you should. And that's why I say thank you for your service as well, because you guys do go overlooked. Very unappreciated. I try to show my best to my wife when I can, because a lot of other times it's just usually dealing with her dealing with me. It's her dealing with me. And the little things that come along with me that turn into a lot of big things at the end of the day. So if you are a spouse, if you are an advocate, if you're a family member, thank you for your service. And even if you are, say, a co-worker, because I put a lot of my co-workers through a lot of shit, I tell you. Oh boy, there's no way any of those jobs would ever recommend me for anything after I left them, where I went out like Dennis Rodman every single time. Chapless going out of the door. So I have to take backtrack because the new meds bumped from 60 to 100. Yeah, there's lots of ways to prove your claim. Like I say, everybody's claim is like a fingerprint. Everyone's got one, but everyone's claim is going to be different. So good luck on your journey. And like I said, right now, what we're going to do is we're going to keep the Thursdays just kind of free flowing, just talking and making sure that we keep up with each other. Thank you, Patricia, for following. And then on Thursdays, we're actually going to set up a time, 9 p.m., so that we can sit and really focus in on these individual claims so we can talk back and forth, not one-on-one, but in a group setting, so that we can get these myths dispelled, so that maybe if you hear something from someone else's story, you'll be able to learn from them and take proper action as well. I get disheartened to know that there are a lot of veterans out there that are being taken advantage of by companies, lawyers that just know that we're naive in a lot of different ways. We're very naive in a lot of different ways, because when we finally do go ask for help, we think that the people that are helping us have our best interests at heart, and a lot of times they don't. So a lot of these lawyers know this, and a lot of these lawyers are taking your money up front and not helping you through the claim. They're not spending the time that it truly takes to make your claim work, and not just like a big factory where they're just pushing out 100 claims and hoping for the best. Yes, I have someone that I know that is actually migraines now. They're still active duty. Yeah. So when we talk about our migraines, of course, everything is in threes. When did it start? What are your issues in severity and frequency? And how does it affect you daily? And then, so if you're looking for the different levels of migraines from 0 to 10 to 30 to 50% prostrating, to prove that prostrating means that you're taking time from work, that no matter what you do, these migraines are unexpected, they come from nowhere, and they keep you from being able to work or do or function. If you have to drive to work and you're scared that you're going to catch a migraine in the middle of traffic, if you get to work but you got to take off 2 or 3 hours, boss, can I go hide in the closet? Boss, I'm not coming in today. Boss, I got to go take 3 hours for lunch. You got to be able to document these things. You got to be able to go get a migraine buddy. May it be online from an app. You can download Migraine Buddy through any app. You can download not download, but you can use Excel spreadsheet to keep track of all your symptoms and issues. If you're like me, it usually starts from my left side, and it works its way up the back of my head, usually behind my ear, and then really quick into it. It feels like somebody's taking pictures behind my eyeball. Sometimes it's a total head thing, but usually it starts up the left side, and then from there, I'm done with everybody and anything. And for as much as I love my children and my wife, I am always in the mode of screw them when these migraines come on. And I'm being honest. I love my family, but I can't deal with them when my migraines are there. So I go high. Is it keeping you from spending time with your family, socially, with family and friends? So if you can document these things and you go tell the doctor these things because you're done with being stoic, excuse me, you're going to go tell the doctor these things, and now you've got the medical evidence to back up your claim, because you've taken all this documentation in and you've shown the doctor how these migraines affect you. And now you sit down with your spouse and you say, how do these migraines affect me in ways that I don't see? How do these migraines affect me in ways that I don't see? Your spouse says, well, you told the kids to eat a bag the other day because you were angry, you were upset. You don't want to deal with your family. You hide away. Nothing matters to you other than getting over that migraine. And if you're anything like me, the medication that the VA gives you is a crapshoot. It's a 50-50. It might work, and I hope it does, but a lot of times it doesn't. Crapshoot. So I smoke. I garden for my migraines. And then so even that is a byproduct of that affects my family, because I smell like smoke, and lots of people don't like the way that it smells. But what do I do for my migraines? Do I take the medication that the VA gives me? I do. I try, but it doesn't work. It doesn't work. So this is the totality that you must think of these things in when you're explaining yourself to the VA. When did it start? What are your issues and symptoms, and severity and frequency? And how does it affect you daily? And when you go talk to the VA, talking that way, that's the lingo you must speak in. Young girl, appreciate you guys hanging out. Thank you for all the love and support. It's been about an hour and a half here. I want to check out the light therapy. I've heard of it. I really have. I've tried the candle in my ears, but I hate acupuncture. I've tried PT. I've tried the cold press. I take the medication that the VA gives me. That whatever, it's not trazodone. I forget exactly what it is. Something Pipton, something Tripton. It works sometimes. It doesn't a lot of times. And then so if this is keeping you from working, this is how you prove prostrating, because it is affecting you in your pocket. It is keeping you from maintaining substantial gainful employment, because what employer is going to deal with you having migraines 5 or 6 times a week? And if you're working at an employer that is dealing with you're working in a protected environment, and you got to go tell the VA, well, I'm working in a protected environment. This is probably the only job that would ever hire me. Nobody else would deal with my shit. You got to go tell the VA. I mean, there's really no other way of doing it. I thought about doing the Botox, but I've had the steroid. It's the injections. I forget the injections that they give you in your back of your hip for nerve pain, and I don't like those needles, so I'm good on the Botox. I'll deal with what I deal with. I've been fighting them this long. They're not getting any better, but I maintain and I medicate for myself. But I have told the VA this. And that's all I ask that other veterans do as well, is that you don't hold back. But that you don't go in and ranting and complaining, that when you go talk to the VA, you do it in the language that they understand. And you do it in threes. When did it start? What are your issues and symptoms, the severity and frequency? And how does it affect you today? Or how does it affect you daily? And you got to keep at it. That means every month, you got to go back and tell them, I had 6 migraines this week. I had 12 migraines this month. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you kindly. This is what you must do to prove your claim. And this is where a lot of us fall short, because we don't want to go talk to the VA until we're just done. And that's not the way to do it. This is not the prodigal son. The VA is not Jesus in the Bible with parables. They're not going to welcome you back with open arms because you've been gone for 6 years. They're going to give you the business. Where you been for 6 years? They're going to give you the business. So if you're in there every 6 minutes, how can they use that against you, that they don't see you, that they don't hear from you, that no symptoms are being documented? Stop disappearing and expect the VA to take care of you. Start thinking, hey, thank you guys for your service as well. If you are a veteran, let us know where you are in your VA journey. And if you are a spouse or a caregiver or a family member, thank you for your service as well. Let's see. Thank you, Alana. Is it Laura? I apologize. I don't want to say that incorrectly. Lady, thank you kindly. And then, like I said, on Thursdays, guys, we are going to start working with directly talking to each other, not just on TikTok, because there's only so much that I can say here to you directly with multiple people in the room, of course, but there's only so much that I can truly say while we're talking to each other over social media, and to really give you the lowdown when it comes to the VA and the BS that they're going to put you through when it comes to proving your claim, especially when it comes to getting to 100% P&T, and all the bias that you receive once you start to truly make it to the top, and why it's really so difficult from 90% to actually get your 100%. Guys, I really want you guys to reach out to me, please, because this coming Thursday, we're going to really start working and focusing on making sure that we, as a true community, as a true network, dispel these myths and make sure that we all get the proper rating that we deserve. So we found that one roommate that is still alive and he's bad off as your husband. And see, that's what we got to do for each other. We really got to go back and start finding each other, because a lot of us are lost. A lot of us are lost. We truly are. We truly are. And then so the VA is there, like I said, to help you maintain, but at least that's maintenance. You can baseline you can go one level higher from maintenance. At least they will give you maintenance. You got to do what you got to do from that point, but you can at least get maintenance from them. So rule number one: if you get your 100% PT disappear, that is absolutely that. Let me say, I don't want to argue in that way, because everyone's got their opinion, right? But if you're 100% PNT, don't disappear. Go in at least once a year. You log into va.gov and send them a message every 3 or 4 months. Set yourself a schedule in your calendar that says that you need to reach out to your primary care provider after you're 100%. to let him know that nothing has gotten any better since the last time you talked to them. Okay, bye. Like Elsa, Elsa and Anna. Okay, bye. I'm only here to tell you that everything is still fucked up and it's getting worse. Okay, bye. If you disappear and you come back once something has gotten worse, and you haven't been maintaining, you haven't been consistently going in and telling these guys this is a problem, you haven't been asking for your pills, even if you don't take the pills, you don't order your pills. So now a year and a half later, you're going back to the VA and saying, this is worse. The VA is going to say, well, you haven't been taking your pills. You haven't been coming in any doctor's appointments. You still work 40, 50, 60 hours a week. Denied. We are not giving you a raise. These things don't make any sense. But if you maintain that level that you did when you were trying to get to 100% and continue to message them after every month to let them know your migraines aren't getting any better, you don't have to walk into the VA and go talk to anybody, Kitty. You don't have to call the VA and say, I hate you guys every month. You can simply log into va.gov on your phones, on your laptops, and send your primary care a message saying, I'm still fucked up. It's simple. It's simple math. That's all I ask you guys, is that when you hear the whole disappear thing, that's too much of an extreme. It's too much of an extreme. Now, do you want to keep going in and putting in claims? No, you don't. That's too much of an extreme. But to disappear is also the opposite side of the extreme coin. Don't disappear, guys. Just maintain. That's it. Order your pills. Go to your annuals. Keep it simple. So don't worry, I'll keep paying my taxes. Yeah, guys. I hope so. You should pay your taxes. How are you guys doing over the end of your Veterans Day? Did you guys make it over to any restaurants? Did you get any free food? They give you any free appetizers? They make you order something first before you got the free part of it. I think I went to Applebee's one time and I had to order one of the meals to get a free meal. I forget how it worked, but it was weird. I was like, okay, I thought this was supposed to be free. They want his off at the same time, and they won't work. I'm sorry, tell me again. They want his at the same office, and they won't work. IHOP breakfast, Jennifer. Yeah, IHOP is the go-to. That is the Greyhound of Veterans Day. I would say maybe Chili's. Maybe Chili's is like the Spirit Airlines of the veterans places that you go. But IHOP is absolutely, I would say, the TGI Fridays. I'm comparing restaurants to each other. IHOP is the go-to when it comes to our Veterans Day meal. So I hope that it was some good pancakes, because they do slap. The only problem I have with IHOP is that their bacon is usually pretty greasy. You know, I'm a big bacon fan. Or I let my boys know that they can't deal with crowds that call and ask. So I know my back is getting a little annoyed here, guys. Stretch out a little bit, but one thing that we truly don't talk about, that I think we don't take serious enough, that we maybe joke about, is the hypervigilance that we deal with in the community. The hypervigilance that we spend truly, once again, I tell you guys to think of these things in threes. When did it start? What are your issues in severity and frequency, and how does it affect you daily? If you're thinking about the daily part of it, how does it affect your family? How does it affect your family? Ask your family how it affects them. Your hypervigilance. You not being able to go to certain restaurants that they've been dying to go to because they're just too brand new. You only being able to go shop the second that the grocery store opens at 8 a.m. because you can't be in a crowd with everybody else. You making your family change restaurants 6 or 7 hotels 6 or 7 different times because you can't stay in this particular hotel because there's not 3 locks on the door. There's only 2 locks on the door. When it comes to you not being able to leave the house unless there's cameras on each pillar, or bars on the windows, things of that nature. You guys really got to start putting these things together in a total nature to say, how does it affect me daily? And how does it affect the people around me. And until you really focus in on that, you're really not going to be able to get the rating that you deserve, because the majority of the things that you do are listed in the DBQ. And a lot of you don't know how to tell the rater, that's me. That little box right there, that's me. I'm hypervigilant. Well, why are you hypervigilant, Ann? Why are you hypervigilant? Well, I wear tinfoil on my head before I go to sleep at night, and I connect with aliens, and I don't want them to come in my house. So I've got cameras on each corner and bars on the windows, and I check the locks 4 times before I go to sleep. And sometimes I wake up in the middle of the night just to make sure that the locks are still on the door. And then so I can't go outside, because when I'm with my family and friends, they want to go into these big restaurants. And there's no way in hell I'm sitting in some big restaurant not having it. I don't go to concerts. I don't go to venues. I don't go to fairs. I don't go to movies. I don't do any of these things. And this is why I'm housebound. So when we talk about these things, we say, that means this person can never do these things? Never do these things? That is incorrect. We're not saying that you can never do any of these things. We're saying that the majority of the time, your symptoms and issues are keeping you from doing them regularly. They're keeping you from having any enjoyment when you do them. You go out and do them because you must, not because you want to. I go out with my wife. My wife is Filipina. We just went to a Christmas party for the Filipinos here in this area. We were there from the time that they got started to the time they stopped. I hated every single bit of it. And I affected her because she had an attitude as well about it afterwards. I made it known that I did not want to be there. I sat in the vehicle a lot of times. I went out and smoked 3 or 4 times while I was in this venue. I could not talk to people. I'm anxious. I get hostile. I don't want to talk to you longer than 30 seconds. I don't want to sit here and have short talk conversation with you. Leave me alone. So these are the things when I say, these are the issues and symptoms that you are avoiding, that you deal with, that you're not talking about. And if you read the DBQ before you walked in and talked to the CMP examiner, you'd be able to explain how they affect you daily. And that's how you get rated. You got to know what you're talking about, guys. You got to talk about it like the dynasty sign. So please look forward to speaking to me and Pia Norton, who works with Veterans Wealth Solutions, every Thursday at 9 p.m. We're going to host a small gathering of veterans who are serious about taking their claim to the next level. We can always do this thing on Thursdays where we kind of talk about it, throw it around a little bit. But if you're truly serious about getting your rating proper, the rating that you deserve, please reach out to me so that we can schedule your appointment on Thursdays at 9 p.m. because we want to make sure that you get the proper, true guidance that you need so that you can get the rating that you deserve. So I hope that you guys found this helpful. I'm going to get ready to step out here because this is definitely long enough. Even in these nice seats of this vehicle, my back is just done. So I hope you guys, let's see, theme parks. Yeah, I don't play around with that stuff outside venues, guys. I'm just being honest. This is why I moved to Thailand because basically, honestly, here everything's a lot more remote and open in terms of neighbors and people. So we are kind of off to ourselves. But my wife knows what she signed up for, guys. I was gonna be honest. So let's see. Always read the DBQ, absolutely. So thank you guys for hanging out with me tonight. We're going to start to do this a lot more often, and not just once a week on Thursdays, but like I said, on Tuesdays at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we will be able to come in and just roundtable this thing with each other. And then on Thursdays, we're going to start making it private. So please become a fan, join the fan club, subscribe, and get ready to be able to, really understand what it takes to get the ratings you deserve and take your claims to the next level, because we want to make sure you guys get everything that is owed to you. Please stay in touch. Please reach out to me. Looking forward to seeing you guys soon. Oh, I'm sorry. Talked about the VA and they told me to deal with it. Yeah. Since you didn't see combat, hold on, because I don't want to leave off on that note. Thank you guys for your service. Every veteran out there. I know there's a quick video going around where veterans saying that if you didn't graduate, if you didn't make it out of basic training, you're not a veteran. I kind of have to agree with that. I have to be honest. If you've ever played football, on a professional level, or even at a college level, high school level, there's a JUCO squad, and then there's a varsity squad. And just because you played JUCO did not mean that you really saw any true field time. If you only went through basic training but you did not graduate, it does not count. That's just my opinion, right? So with that being said, once you make it through basic and you are now a veteran, thank you for your service. And it does not matter if you saw combat or not. It does not matter if you saw combat or not. Your service is your service. And if you need to be service connected, if you need the compensation, or if you need the compensation that you truly deserve, reach out to me, guys, so that we can really get you through the system, so that you don't get told false information like you can't get connected because you didn't see combat, or some other BS that they just throw at you and hope that you don't get the true education that you deserve. So please reach out to me, guys. Looking forward to seeing you this Thursday. Thank you for hanging out with me tonight. Once again, veterans, thank you for your service. Looking forward to seeing you guys this coming week. Peace. Take care.